This wife asked her husband to hang up the laundry, but their child said, "Mom, Dad works so hard, why do you make him do chores?" The woman smiled playfully and replied, "So that Mom won't feel so tired." But the little one said, "You don't earn money, so why are you tired?" Those simple words cut deeply into the woman's heart, and she wondered how such a small child could already understand things complicated world of adults. Later that day, the woman proudly showed off her beautiful nails, yet the little girl said, "Mom, if your nails are so pretty, how can you even work now?" Again, the woman felt a strange ache inside, quietly asking herself why a child would say something like that. Then the next day, a delivery arrived at the house, and the girl asked with innocent eyes, "Mom, why do you keep buying so many things?" The woman gently smiled and answered, "Oh, sweetheart, these are all things Mom bought for you." But the girl said in a blunt voice, "Don't say you bought them for me if you're just using Dad's money." At that moment, the woman's heart shattered a little because those words sounded less like a child speaking and more like her mother-in-law scolding her through the mouth of her own daughter. Then one day when they returned home, they heard the grandmother talking softly to the little girl, saying, "You're all grown up now, so you should be grateful to your dad. Dad works very hard to earn money, and your mom is lazy, staying at home without earning anything, so all of us depend on Dad to support the family." Now, finally understanding the root of everything that had been happening, the woman shouted, "Mother-in-law, what are you teaching my child?" But the older woman replied coldly, "What's wrong with teaching her a few things?" The wife's voice trembled as she answered, "If you keep filling her mind with those ideas, then one day my own child may stop seeing me as her mother." But the mother-in-law said harshly, "If your own child doesn't like you, who else can you blame? And if you can't stand living here, then pack your things and go back to your parents' house." The woman was about to respond, but the man suddenly said, "Go pack the luggage." When the wife came out a moment later holding a suitcase, the grandmother looked confused and asked, "Hey, why are you taking my luggage?" The man looked at her seriously and said, "Mom, you should go back to your hometown." The mother stared in shock and protested, "What do you mean by that? I've been taking such good care of your child." But the man replied firmly, "You're planting harmful thoughts in our child's mind, and you call that taking care of her?" The mother tried to argue, but the man continued, "Once a child starts to dislike her own mother, she grows up rebellious and insecure. And in the end, the one who suffers the most will be our child, your own granddaughter." Still, the mother insisted stubbornly, "But you're the one earning money to support this family, that's the fact." The man looked straight at her and asked quietly, "Does a fact automatically make it right?" Then he spoke with emotion in his voice, "My wife and I both once had good jobs and stable incomes, but she chose to become a full-time mom for the sake of our family. And because of her sacrifices, the blankets are always soft, the house is always clean, and the food is always hot when we walk through the door after a long day. You may think I'm the breadwinner, but the truth is this family stands because of her." Then he turned to the little girl and said gently, "Remember this, the greatest person in our family is Mom." After that, he softly asked the child, "Did what you said earlier hurt Mom?" The girl slowly nodded, tears filling her eyes, and she stepped forward to apologize. The mother held her close and forgave her, because deep in her heart she knew the child was innocent, and that the grandmother had been the true root of all the pain. Should they still send the grandmother away?